Alright guys, listen up.
What's going on with that radio?
Should Silent Hill get remade? If you follow my Twitter, YT_Danka, about a month ago, I retweeted a tweet from Game in UK. The tweet asked who else wants to see this survival horror classic remastered. Before we continue, there is a huge difference between a remake and a remaster. I might want to make a video eventually discussing what makes a remake and a remaster good, but for now, a remaster is when a game is given a new coat of paint. When the game is given a greater resolution, gets retextured, and the frame rate is increased. Sometimes you'll barely notice a difference when a game is remastered. A remake is when the game is built from the ground up. It's when it's completely reworking the masterpiece the game once was. What is there to say, however, about one of the founding fathers of horror games? Silent Hill. Remasters and remakes can be done very well, and can be done terribly. Silent Hill, if you didn't know, has been a victim of a remaster gone terribly wrong. In 2012, the Silent Hill HD collection including HD versions of Silent Hill 2 and 3 was released. And what they planned to do was up the resolution of the two games and feature new voices for the characters we know and love. This was a disaster. It already seems that Konami doesn't really care for one of their most cherished and loved IPs. Konami seems to just throw the IP around to developers who are not capable of creating a Silent Hill game. The Silent Hill HD collection didn't update the content from the game as much as they simply changed it.
As you can see, it's the original Xbox version. You see his fucking sign here. Someone at fucking Hijinks Studios thought it was necessary to change the fucking font to Comic Sans.
Instead of using the original games as a base to rework some of its content, they used an archive version of the games. These versions included various bugs, missing textures, and a toned down fog effect, simply making the original games on the PS2 look a lot better than the game that came out a decade after it. The new voices were not good either. James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2, originally voiced by Guy Seehee, is now voiced by Troy Baker. I don't have anything against Troy, his work is great, but he can't capture who James is.
I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Aren't you Maria?
James is a broken man and a person who talks with this depressed and awkward tone. There is an option in the game to switch to the original voice acting, but Silent Hill 3 doesn't feature that. The original games of Silent Hill 2 and 3 run much better and look much better on the PlayStation 2. This is why I don't think Silent Hill on the PS1 should get a remake or remaster. If you want to play Silent Hill on a better resolution, an emulator with a widescreen texture and shader mods will do the trick. But to get remade from the ground up, I don't feel like it should. Konami simply wouldn't give it to the right developers to do so. Team Silent is long gone, and I don't think Konami would even consider giving the IP to Kojima and his studios. That's just one of my reasons why I don't think Silent Hill should get remade. Most development teams nowadays won't be capable of recreating something that was once the scariest game ever made. My other reason is I don't think it needs it. The game has aged for sure, but I don't think it's aged that badly when compared to Resident Evil. That game nowadays is a complete mess.
This house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
One way that Silent Hill seems to scare me still to this day is its distorted 3D textures, and I'm not the only one that thinks this either. The PS1 and its visual capabilities made this game what it is. The way that the jagged textures make the game look abstract is just something that still adds to the atmosphere. The voice acting, I don't think needs changing.
Was I dreaming?
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm alright, I guess.
The way that the lines have such an awkward pause between them while immersed in the game makes it a whole lot scarier. And it's hard to describe this uneasy feeling you get when listening to the poorly delivered lines accompanied by the ominous background music. That as well, the music. The soundtrack is still one of the best soundtracks in any game to date, and most of the tracks are just simply ambience, humming drones just to fill the atmosphere with some character, or heart-pounding industrial grinds portraying the feeling of absolute terror. And I don't think that can be topped. The game definitely deserves a remake, but it simply doesn't need one. Oh, and for those wondering when the review will be coming out for Silent Hill,